Hey guys, welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. In today's video, I wanted to take a look at the beginning of endgame teams for free-to-play or people who've just had pretty poor luck, because I'm here in the Memory of Chaos. I managed to clear the first floor, and obviously we're still below level 60. And the thing with this stuff is, feel no pressure to rush here. I just do this because I thoroughly enjoy this stuff. If you look at what I'm actually getting from the Memory of Chaos, for the amount of time that I'm spending here, I'm getting absolutely zero, because all I can get is this one-time reward, which really isn't that great, but I can't get my star rewards because I can't get any stars. So this is a very, very early days, but based on what I played in the beta as well, I want to go through my thoughts on the Memory of Chaos if you have a limited roster. Not just free to play, this might be spenders who got shafted. If we look at my other account where I spent 380 to get one copy of Zilla, I mean, I got Zilla, I'm pretty set. But yeah, I just wanted to look at the team building strategy and making the best teams that you can. And I think for until we get March later on, when we're geared through the teeth, we got a lot more units. We're at level 70, level 80. I think until we get to that point, it's going to be very different. Like for people who don't have the great units, your Bronyas, your Zillas, and stuff like that, Jepards, Bailus, you're going to be playing around a lot, because one of the biggest issues in Memory of Chaos, and also in just the Forgotten Hall, is that you have to have two teams. And obviously, if you don't have Jepard or Bailu, it's a lot harder to get the survivable to get through there. Now, obviously, like I said, once we get a bit further on, it will get easier because you'll be higher level. You can start looking to stars and stuff like that. But I want to look at the basic principles behind team building. Now, there's a few ways you can do it. Now, one, you can run a team with Natasha as your solo survivor, survival unit, and then you can have the two shielders on the same team. Now, sometimes this works. I actually really struggle to solo heal with Natasha. I find there's just too much damage and she can't maintain it. So I do actually like putting Natasha with one of the other two and trying to solo tank with the other one. It may sound weird, but depending on the opponents, you can. For instance, if we look at this boss here, so I've actually cleared this one. And the team I used for this boss was a solo Fire MC tank. Then I used my QQ, my Dan, and my Asta. Now, it may seem funny. It's like, how are you doing this without healing? It was an absolute prick, to be honest. But essentially what we do against this is we got these two enemies, one that makes you have to hit them 9 times or they nuke. And this one is like the other one that does the, you can't use skills, you can't use basics, you can't attack them. Like, it's just so super frustrating. But essentially with that one, all I tried to do was make the Fire MC soak up all the hits. And the one where you got to hit the 9 stacks off them, I just tried to save ults for that. And basically what I prioritized in this team was taunting with the Fire MC and then skilling with Asta to get the speed buff up to keep going. And then I was happy to just basic with these two to generate my skill points. Now, on top of that, Dan, every once in a while I'd use his skill to try and put a slow on, but that was the basic principle of what I did. And literally you have no recovery in this team. So all you're hoping for is that you don't get hit on the wrong units and that the Fire MC shield is enough to keep them alive and get through 2 battles. That is pretty much all it was. So you can actually solo Fire MC. Now, in the next team, that left me with Natasha, March. I think I did it this way, Saval, and my level 40 Sampo, who just dies instantly. So he's my throwaway unit. Unfortunately, I haven't pulled any 4 stars that I want to build with my team. So we're kind of going in with 7 units. But essentially this one, so my Saval's pretty well geared. So she can do decent damage and she can just basically melt through things AoE. And then we got plenty of survival. If you got Natasha with a March, you're pretty much set for survival, so that's no issue. So that team was actually, even though we're using the Sampo, that was my safe team. This was the struggle team. Now, if we go into the next floor, the one that I haven't cleared, I actually got really close on this one. I failed to clear it because I was on the last boss, but I ran out of cycles with him at about 30%. So that kind of sucks. But when we look at this one, essentially this one was very interesting. So this is the one that does the stomp, the cleave stomp, and then everyone that he stomps on that gets wind shear, he draws a bow, and then if they still have wind shear when he goes to fire, they get nuked. So for this one, what I actually did was I managed to clear it. It's this boss twice in this wave, and I'll jump in and show you guys this one in a minute. But what I actually did was I managed to solo with March 7th, which allowed me to put Fire MC and Natasha over here, because I did try once with the Fire MC and Natasha up here, and I cleared it, but then I just had no chance down here because my Natasha wasn't healing enough. So this was the bottom team that I used, but the top team that I actually actually used was like this. Now, the way this strategy worked, and I'll jump in with you, is that with March, what you can do is if it's a single target enemy, you can just put her shield on herself. That gives her the taunt value. She gets attacked, she reapplies the shield, and so on and so forth. This one was a bit interesting because Sampo dies really quick, and then you've got to cycle March's shield the permanent uptime on these 3 units, because as soon as because this boss has cleave damage, once it hits QQ, then you've got to protect Asta as well, because then the boss might attack QQ and cleave Asta. So this was an absolute nightmare fight, but it's just the kind of things you got to do when you don't have the units, because I feel like there will be a lot of people who only have Natasha, Fire MC, and March as their defensive units, unless obviously you pulled Bailu or Japard, then you're a lot safer in this early phase of working through the memory of chaos. But let's just jump in, and I'll show you essentially that first battle of what I had to do. I can't be bothered doing it again. I'm just going to wait till I'm a bit more stacked, because I think I used up 28 cycles in these 2 bosses to get through it, because I wasn't putting any skill points into damage. It was all into March, trying to get that sorted out. So what I do here is I just go in with my QQ. I give her a couple tiles. I go in with Sampo. Before he dies, he does get some use out of him, because his technique is actually a really strong technique. And then I'm going to go in with Asta, because that gets me my charging buff, and it also breaks all the enemies, which is pretty handy. So like I said, in this type of situation where you're using March, it's a matter of put the shield on March. Unfortunately, we are just going to have to accept the fact that QQ is going to get hit. There's nothing I can do about that. QQ is going to get hit. And unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, because the boss is going to take a turn and it's going to deal splash damage. And we just got to accept that and try and keep her alive past that point. Now, with something like this, I get tempted to, it's QQ. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, we missed it. We're not going to waste any more. We're not going to waste any more, because we've still got Sampo alive. Let's do one more. This is my problem with QQ. I get addicted to this. Dude, give me the... because I was hoping to kill that guy and get the speed buff, which we can do if we had have got the tile flip as a win. So I just normally restart this one. Screw it. But let's go here, Sampo. So as you can see, that boss... Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move my head up. So you can see the boss actually attacked by QQ, which is the worst possible thing that could have happened. But that gives us that. If we freeze the boss, we might be in an okay. So, and this is the thing. That was the worst RNG. The chances of the boss attacking QQ when March has the shield on herself is so damn low. But these things do happen, unfortunately. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try, and we didn't get the kill on that, unfortunately. Could have given some energy. But we're going to do this. Now, the thing with this one is as well, we've got at the start of every cycle, there goes the Sampo. At the start of every cycle, we're going to get, yeah, let's do that. We're going to get an Erudition or a Hunt character to get an additional turn. So that means my QQ is probably going to be able to shake her wind shear just through sake of turns. Yeah, it's only got 1 turn left. My March has got 1 turn left, and you've got 1 turn left. So everyone's only got 1 turn left. The boss is frozen, so we should be pretty good to actually shake this one. But what we're going to start doing is we're going to start spreading at these shields and try and keep everyone protected. So we'll put that over there on QQ. See how we go. You can see the boss is still charging. We did cleanse it off QQ as well, but we do get both of our characters to have a turn, so they'll also shake theirs, and that means the boss will not affect anything on us. And what we can do here is we can go ahead and do this, and then we can go straight into the ult and break them. But as you can see, this is a failed run, because Asta got hit at the start, which is not meant to happen. And as you can see, she's getting those bleeds or the wind shears, and it's just not a great situation to be in. But in general, let's put this over on you, and now the boss is gonna fail with that, which is perfect. And then we're pretty good. We got this, we get our extra turn, and we go like that. Yada yada yada. But you can see the general principle. Like, this is the kind of thing you might end up doing, in that you get March, because her shield is a 4-turn shield, which is incredibly helpful. So we've got the 4-turn shield. You can actually sort of permanently keep it up on 3 characters. And even though it's not like a raw AoE fight, the boss is more cleave. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, Like, it's those things that happen. But yeah, and also when the boss is weak to ice and can be frozen, that also really helps March's chances of doing a solo tank. But that is a basic look. Just wanted to show you guys the sort of things I've been working on and thinking about, because when you get to this stage, it is a bit of fun to me personally to push through when, you could just wait an extra week and level up and easy clap it. But hey, a challenge is a challenge and it's always fun. But that is my look at the beginning of endgame teams for free to play or people who just haven't had the greatest RNG. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I will definitely do more content on this sort of stuff. But thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.